Hey guys, this is Bart coming to you from TST Industries in Florida, bringing you another episode of TST Garage. I have a very exciting episode today. As you can see, I am surrounded by Kawasaki's. We have the Z900, Z650, and Ninja 650, and we're going to be showing you how to install our new TST Industries integrated taillight on one of these bikes behind me. Now, what's so special about these lights? They are integrated, so they have signals already incorporated into the capsule. They are plug and play. A lot of the stuff you get on the market nowadays has to be wired in. We actually put in all the necessary connectors so that you can get your connection done just like you would with OEM equipment. They are available in clear or smoked lens, so the choice is yours. They are really, really bright. They provide ample brightness after installation, so either one you go with, you will be happy. We do include load balancing resistors for the purpose of slowing down your flash rate anytime you go away from the OEM incandescent light bulbs and the signals in the rear to any LED lighting equipment. You will need to slow down your flash rate, otherwise it'll cause hyperflash. That's what we call it, just a fast flash rate that goes beyond the 85 cycles per minute that the OEM manufacturers set. So this is sort of an industry standard that we include with every taillight, but we do recommend going with one of our relays. An LED flasher relay will just be a plug-and-play replacement for your OEM relay, and these bikes have a really easy to access relay, so that saves you some time and gives you a really nice professional installation versus having these dangling heated elements in your tail section. So that is a separate component. We do recommend going with this along with the taillight, but I'll leave the choice up to you. As you can see, the OEM unit is sort of Toyota Altezza-like. It has very 2000 to 2005-esque styling. We decided to update the styling and the shape of our taillights to something that is more elegant and flows better with the design language of the bikes. So let's swipe this away and show you guys what this thing looks like on the bikes. First, we have the Z900 here. We've outfitted it with the clear version of the taillight. It really does take the entire body language of the tail section here and brings it back and really molds it together and makes it look very, very aerodynamic, sleek, and stylish. So as you can see, there is a pretty vast difference between the OEM look like you see on the Z650 here still and the aftermarket version that we've come out with. Here you have on the Ninja 650, the smoked version. So when it's shut off, it'll look a little bit different. But if I power both these bikes up, you will see that we do have ample brightness from both of these units, and the added functionality is really cool too. We've enabled 9 program states that are available via the press of a button that remains accessible from the tail section under the seat. So you can choose 3 different brake versions and 3 different signal programs that you can mix and match to your liking. Now I'm really excited to start wrenching, so let's get started. So for this particular installation, we've chosen the smoked variant of our taillight. I feel like it'll really set off the whole tail end here with the black and white theme. As far as the methodology of installation and the components of the tail, the Ninja 650 and the Z650 are exactly the same. So the steps portrayed in this video will be valid for both models. Now we've already outfitted the bike with our Elite 1 fender eliminator here and BL6 signals, so we'll keep those on and just work around it. Let's get started by taking off the seats. And now we can start removing some fasteners. We are going to begin by using a 4mm Allen to remove these 2 fasteners here. Then we're going to switch to an 8mm socket and remove these 4 fasteners. Once the screws are out, we can pull back on each one of these tail halves, and that clears these interference geometry slide clips from their windows here. I'm going to put these things to the side. Now we'll grab that 8mm one more time and remove these 2 fasteners that hold the taillight onto the bike. These come out with washers, so let's retain those for reassembly. Now we can get under here and pull out the main plug for the taillight. It is a 3-conductor plug. I'll show it to you here. It's actually easier to remove the plug from its female mating plug on the inside here, but then I don't get to show you guys, so I'm going to do it on the outside. It does have this center tab that you press in to reset the lock and enable removal. I'm going to use a small flathead. That usually helps me press it down with enough force to actually unlock it. When it's unlocked, it actually makes an audible click, and voila, now it's out. Pull it back here, and now you can see that the taillight is clearly free, with the exception of still being on this tab. So if we pull it back towards the rear of the bike and clear all of the other portions from the bike, it comes off, and it's really just that easy. We'll now scavenge some of the components for the lower suspension here. We do have these shoulder spacers that fit in from the bottom. Memorize that. That will need to be reinstalled in the same fashion. And then we have these rubber grommets. They do have a smaller diameter and a larger diameter flange. So the larger diameter sits on top, smaller to the bottom. Okay, so now on our TST taillight, we'll just go in the reverse order of disassembly of these components. I just have to make sure that they actually do fully fit in there. They have a tendency to curl themselves. Once you get the curling out, they are concentric, you're good to go. And there's a number of ways to route the wire through here as we go back in. The actual physical reinstallation is very easy. What I like to do on these bikes is feed the wire under this right boss and to the side of the subframe here. And that generally just keeps it out of the trunk compartment, and it runs out of the way completely. Won't interfere with anything in your trunk. Okay, now we'll get this tab back in the taillight. Now our bosses here are aligned. Everything's looking good. Let's get it plugged in. So that 3-position plug that we took out here will need to be plugged back in. Again, this is much easier on the inside, but this is just handy to show you guys. You can just do it on the inside of the subframe. It'll have an audible click once it's plugged in. You could also test it, make sure it comes on, and it does, so we're good there. Your actual signal leads come to here, and these are your harness plugs for your signals. You can see here we already have them blocked off by our signals. Typically what people do when they do an integrated taillight, they will ditch regular signals and just plug these guys in. So what you would do at this point is just unplug whatever you're getting rid of and plug in your signal wires from the taillight. These also make a nice audible click sound, so you know they're engaged. Then you test them, and if they work, you're good to go. On this particular bike, the customer requested that we retain both the outer signals, here the pod signals, and also the taillight signal function. So for that purpose, we're going to install our YSplitters. These are completely separate components that you could purchase if you need this option. And basically what they do, they give you one input, 2 outputs. So now you can plug in both the taillight and the signals, and that's what the customer requested, and that's what we're going to install here. I'm just making sure that I'm plugging in the correct equipment to the correct color plug here. And now we have a big bulk of wires here, so what I like to do is just run them perpendicular to this tube on the inside of the subframe, and that distributes my bulk nicely. All right, now I found some crevices in all of this volume here to put the wire bulk into, and make sure that it's not exposed anywhere, and also enables the reassembly of all the parts. So now I'm ready to start reassembling. I'm going to start with these two screws here. Make sure the washer comes with the screw. And these screws do go into rubber well nuts. You will not experience a hard bottom when these things bottom out. So make sure that you just compress the well nut and leave it there. Tail fairing sides will now need to be aligned with the tabs and the windows together, and then slid together and forward. This is fairly easy. Just a note, the tabs on the painted portion are a little bit more brittle than the bottom black portion. This is polypropylene, so it can take a little bit more flex before it starts breaking. Make sure that this tab is under the black plastic up front here. And now that's good. I'm going to repeat on the left side. Now we'll start fastening all the screws that we took out of here back into position. Thread all my fasteners in by hand and keep them loose. Once every fastener is in, that's when I start tightening down. Now I have all my fasteners in, everything looks to be good. I'm gonna tighten everything down. Now the seats can go back on and we'll be ready to rock. If you need to change the program on your taillight, program button is accessible here. The bike has to be powered up and in running light mode to change the program, but it's right here. Anytime you feel like you want to change it, take the seat off and you're good to go. And we are done with the installation. As you can tell, it really only took a couple minutes and we produced really, really nice results on the back of this Z650. You can see to my right, your left, there is a Ninja 650 sitting with the same taillight. We're able to outfit that bike with the same exact taillight with the same exact steps. So what do we have here? We have a redefined elegance of the entire tail section. We've updated the look of the taillight to a modern look. We have multiple light fields for the different functions, the running, signal, and brake function. Programmability lets you fine-tune all of the different light programs to your liking, and really takes a couple minutes. So I think this is a really big win for us here at TST. We're really proud of this product. If you agree, come to tstindustries.com where you can find it online for a purchase. You can get more information, see some more photos of this product in action. I hope to see you there.